Today marks the start of week 2 of the trial of Derrick Chauvin, the former Minneapolis police officer charged with killing George Floyd.
I want to talk now about the impact of the trial on the black community nationwide. I'm going to bring in President and CEO of the NAACP, Derrick Johnson. Mr. Johnson, thank you so much for being here with us. And look, you said, yes, Chauvin's on trial, but the American justice system is on trial as well. But is this any different from previous trials and cases we've seen, whether it's Philando Castile, Freddie Gray, where officers were acquitted? Do you think this one is different?
Well, you never can predict the outcome of the trial. You don't want to usurp the opinion of the jury. But this is as much as a clear case than I have ever seen. Nothing about what I'm hearing so far would change what we all witnessed on social media, on broadcast news, or on cable news immediately following the murdering of George Floyd. In fact, we did not see the longest-serving police officer show up to testify in support of the prosecution case like we see in this. Today, we will see the chief of Minneapolis Police Department also expected to come and talk about that Derrick Chauvin was out of line in how he treated George Floyd. So I expect that this will have a much greater impact compared to those other trials.
And Derrick, we have seen and heard a lot of new evidence, a lot of new information in this trial already, in addition to what we're going to start to see this week. But we continue to hear from Chauvin's attorney, who says that his client did not cause the death of George Floyd. What's your response to that?
I mean, it's absurd. Everyone witnessed what we witnessed. There was no way that that sitting on someone's neck for now, we learned, over 9 minutes, he's pleading over and over, I cannot breathe. You can have a justifiable defense. In fact, based on the testimony last week, Derrick Chauvin went outside of his training, outside of protocol, to cause harm to an individual that was not resisting arrest, to an individual that was accused of a counterfeit $20 bill.
Derrick, what do you think about the black community now, what the community is going through again, and kind of for the first time in a lot of ways, because some of what we're seeing from this trial we haven't seen before, the public hasn't, and it's just traumatic.
Yeah, many people are suffering through their own personal experiences, their own post-traumatic stress when they revisit what's taking place here. I can talk about when I grew up in Detroit and I was pulled over 7 days straight, 7 days in 1 week by these same 2 police officers when I was just a teenager for nothing more than driving in my neighborhood. This is an occurrence that we have to pay special attention to. That's why we're calling for police reform. We have to do a qualified immunity. We have to establish a database of police behavior so that we can get out of the ranks of law enforcement agencies bad actors. The 2 officers that pulled me over for those 7 days were later convicted of killing Maurice Green in Detroit, who was unarmed. The same set of bad actors that give law enforcement a bad name must be woven out. That can only happen with police reform.
Yeah, and Derrick, just to take that and go a step further, where does our country go from here to heal? Black, white, brown, where do we go, and how does this trial play into that?
Well, we have to accept that public policy must drive this conversation, federal public policy. We have to remove ourselves from the tribalism that we've seen take grip of this country the last 4 years. The beautiful thing that happened after this unfortunate incident was the peaceful demonstration across America, black, white, young, old, all coming together under a value proposition that equal protection under the law should be afforded to all of us, under this notion that Black lives matter, not because Black lives is greater, but if we don't value the lives of Black people in this country who've been maligned, treated less than human, treated in ways in which didn't afford us equal protection under the law, none of our lives would matter. Federal public policy, the George Floyd Police Reform Act, must get adopted.
NAACP President and CEO Derrick Johnson, thank you so much for your time today. We certainly appreciate it.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Well,
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.